Making kimchi traditionally requires a lot of time to ferment, but I figured out an easier way to make it in just 3 days. It's a Korean side dish that'll amplify almost any dish. Before we start, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Honeysuckle Catering and on Snapchat at HONEYSUCKLEBEE to follow my latest cooking and eating adventures. Here I have a head of Napa cabbage weighing in about 3 pounds. I'll cut it into quarters and give the bottom layers another cut so we don't have any large pieces. I'll wash and drain my chopped cabbage, then little by little add some into a large bowl and then sprinkling a generous amount of kosher salt with each layer. I'm using about half a cup of kosher salt for the whole process. Once I'm done salting the cabbage, I'll mix it up one more time, then let it sit for about an hour. The salt will draw all the moisture out of the cabbage, leaving you with a lifeless and limp looking cabbage like this. I'll rinse and wash the salt out 3 more times and finally let it drain before moving on with the next step. Now for the kimchi paste. I'm going to start with 5 to 6 cloves of garlic that I'll peel by shaking in between these 2 metal bowls. This is a cool trick to peel your garlic easily without having any stinky hands. 1 medium-sized onion that I'll peel, quarter, and add to a blender. Half of a Korean or Asian pear that I'll peel and core. This Asian pear will give it a natural, subtle hint of sweetness. If you can't find this, you can sub for kiwi, pineapples, or even apples. A piece of ginger about 2 inches long, 2 teaspoons of sugar, a quarter cup of fish sauce, half a cup of gochugaru, which is Korean chili pepper flakes. I don't recommend subbing it for red chili pepper flakes you find at the supermarket because it's totally different. You can find this at any Asian market. A quarter cup of water, a quarter cup of cooked white rice, and then give everything a whirl. I'm looking for a thick paste that'll spread easily over the kimchi. And last but not least, I'll add a tablespoon of salted shrimp to give it that unique salty flavor. This is totally optional if you don't want it in there. I'll give it one more blend and then it's ready to mix. But before we mix everything together, I'm peeling and shredding 1 carrot with my mandolin and slicing 2 stalks of green onions. I'll add those into the bowl with my wilted cabbage, then I'll pour my pepper paste all over the vegetables, then mix it really well by hand. I'm wearing these cute pink gloves so that they don't stain or burn my hands with the hot pepper sauce. Finally, the most important step is letting the kimchi ferment. I'll add this into an airtight container and let it sit for 3 days to 1 week. It's really best after a week, but you can start to eat it after 3 days when the flavors develop. I like to enjoy this with japchae or bulgogi, but it's really delicious over plain white rice too. Or you can go crazy and add it to my soba stir-fry recipe. Have you ever made kimchi before? What was your experience like? Comment below and don't forget to subscribe for more healthy and delicious recipes. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!